the Lord and we become a servant of the Lord. That's what it says there. Krishnera Nityadas. Nitya means permanent, eternal. Nityadas. Till the time we are in this material world, we keep trying to enjoy in various, try to look after happiness in so many different ways. Finally, unless we come to the conclusion that I will become servant of the Lord, find satisfaction. We have to actually revive the entire spirituality. Whatever we are doing in bhakti, when we are hearing Ramayana, we are chanting the holy names, we are doing any spiritual activity, the goal of that activity is to become a servant of the Lord. Actually, that is a goal. To revive our constitutional position back again, this position. So when we are hearing about the characters like Hanumanji, like Vibhishan, like Sugriv, the devotees, what we are trying to do, we are trying to learn from them how to be a servant of the Lord. That is the main essence of whatever we are hearing. Okay, so let's start today's discussion with prayers. Please recite after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम् हरे कृष्णा. Last week we ended with our discussion after completing the qualities of Vibhishan. You remember I discussed about a spy who was spying over the Vanar Sena. He was sent by Ravana to give a message to Sugriv, and we discussed that how Ravana gave an indirect threat to Sugriv that you have nothing to do between in the conflict between me and Ram. Why are you coming in between with all your Sena? And he says, if you don't return back now, then it's like declaring an enmity with me. So, this would have been sufficing for anybody who had weak faith on the Lord. This would be sufficient for them to go back. Because who in the world would want to make Ravana as your enemy? Right? Nobody would want to. Ravana had defeated all the Devtas. All the Devtas were basically nothing but, on his fingertips they would do dance. Huh? So he had such great powers. Who would want to become his enemy? And he was so brutal, cruel, Rakshasa. You would not want to become his enemy. But Sugriva had a strong faith. And I was discussing that weak faith means it can be challenged by anybody. It can be disturbed by anybody. Either by a threat which you may receive by somebody, or you may yourself feel insecure about something, or because of some argument, philosophical argument by another person, you might lose your faith on the Lord. Basically, it's a shallow faith where it's not steady. You would sometimes do some devotion to God, at other times, you are not at all doing it. Yes, that is called a shallow faith. Whereas Sugriv did not have shallow faith, he had very strong faith. So, therefore, when he heard the message from this spy, the messenger, he basically told, he started laughing. He said, who? What are you speaking? Ravan considers me as a friend because he is friend of my brother Vali. That's why he said, oh, anybody who is friend of Lord Ram is my friend, and anybody who is enemy of Lord Ram is my enemy. This was his definition. This was his reply. This is his understanding of life. It's amazing. Now, this means that he is going to take the full risk. He does not know whether. Okay, so can we keep our mobiles on silent? I always keep my mobile on silent. It can't disturb me. It's on silent always. So that whenever I want, I will attend to whatever it calls. Otherwise, we can be more focused on what we are doing in the present. Yes. So we were saying that Sugriva had a very strong faith, extremely strong faith. He was not at all disturbed. But this means that he was willing to take the risk. He was very much willing to take the risk of having to fight with Ravana, become an enemy with him, and being unsure about what's going to happen in the future. See, bhakti is a lot about this faith, this risk taking. भगवान के ऊपर विश्वास रख करके अपने जीवन को जीना एक तरह से जोखिम बड़ा कार्य है, जोखिम वाला कार्य है. क्योंकि in this world people will say, अरे what you are doing some chanting, oh what you are doing spending time in hearing, what is the benefit, चलो discotheque चलो, I will make you enjoy beer, you drink beer, you enjoy your senses in different ways, you earn more money, you spend 1 more hour in watching a movie. What is this hearing some stories of Ramayana and all, you just lose. People will say so many things against spirituality. There will be so many people so-called intellectuals. They will say, Array, you are sentimental fools. That is why you are spending your time in spirituality. They will be opposing arguments. They will be opposing arguments. Sometimes opposing arguments come in from within the family itself. If a person starts spending a little more time in bhakti, sometimes the other family members become disturbed. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Right? Opposition may come from several places. Yes. So you have to have faith. You have to have faith that I am doing the right thing. I am doing the best thing to serve the Supreme Lord, to do my bhakti. Hare Krishna. To do my bhakti, this is the best thing. I am following the path of the scripture. I am following the path which has been traced by people like Vibhishan, people like Sugriva, people like Hanumanji, and various other devotees of the Lord. I am on the right path. See, this place, this material world is, of course, not a very favorable place for bhakti, but the time in which we are living right now is called as Kali Yuga. And Kali Yuga has great symptoms. Do you want to know what is the symptom of Kali Yuga? Okay, let's see that. 1110. 1110. 1.1.10. So there is Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, 10th shloka, where the Sut Goswami speaks about what is the nature of Kali Yuga. Yeah. Prayena alpayushu sabhya, he says. Let's recite this, okay? Prayena alpayushu sabhya kalau asmin yuge janaha manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadhrita. Beautiful. Oh, learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. Of course, when he says men, it's genderless, okay, for everybody. Okay. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. That's what it says there. Sutta Goswami is speaking about the nature of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is a place where people live very short lives, unpredictable, in fact. So, there was a court case, or should I say, not a court case, but a Rajya Sabha. In the, Yudhishthir Maharaj was ruling, and a Brahmana came and knocked the doors and says, I want to meet the king. Those days, the king would directly meet the praja, and anybody could come in during the certain hours. The king would sit and would be publicly responsible. Anybody can come and discuss their problems with the king. That was a system, open and fair system, actually. Today, whatever ministers you choose, they never come to know who are you. Unaccountable ministers. Anyway, very bad system of politics which we have today. So Yudhishthir Maharaj was sitting in the court, and a Brahmana comes inside and he says, I want to come and meet Yudhishthir. And Arjuna was there. Arjuna said, right now Yudhishthir is not here, but I am his brother, Arjun. Tell me what's your problem. I will solve the problem. Tell me what is the thing. He said, your king, Yudhishthir, is a bad king. And Arjun said, what? He is a Dharmaraj. How can you call him bad? And he says, I am sure that the king is bad because my son died before me. Akal Mrityu. Akal Mrityu is happening. That means the governance is not going good. Brahmana says, this is the thing. Therefore, I say that your king is a bad king. And I want him to be accountable. How my son is dying before me itself. You see, Akal Mrityu is the nature of Kali Yuga. The life was predictable. The number of years you live is very predictable in the other ages. People don't die untimely. Unless, of course, they go for a war and that time they are getting killed. That's a very different situation. But otherwise, they won't die untimely. There is no untimely death. But in Kali Yuga, Kali Yuga is a very interesting age. There is no life surety. Everybody has a life insurance, I'm sure. Life insurance, LIC policy or whatever you have. I'm sure everybody sitting here, whoever is earning, whoever is above 25 and earning, I would say that you would have already got a life insurance. Either LIC or SBI, I don't know what. So many companies are there nowadays. You must have got it. Like we want to go and buy a life insurance, but what is the surety of life? In Kali Yuga, there is no surety. Any time death will knock your doors. Akal Mrityu. Right? So this is what he says. First symptom. People have very short life. But not just that. In that short life, they're always disturbed. So many troubles they keep getting. Huh? Natural disasters or the people of the world are there to trouble us. Quarrelsome nature of the people. So here the laziness means spiritual laziness. The shloka is talking about spiritual laziness. People are quite spiritually lazy. In the other ages, people spent a time with God. A large amount of their time of their life they spent in God consciousness. A large amount of time. In the previous ages, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, up to Dwapar Yuga. But in the Kali Yuga, people feel like spending time in religiosity, spending time doing the devotional activities, oh, that is just waste of time. I can rather do some, other things, as people say. Jeene ke hai 4 din, baki hai bekar din. Abhi ji lo. That is, people say like that. When you are fag, in your old age, when you are 80, when nothing you can do, angam galitam palitam mundam, there is a shloka Shankaracharya says that your whole entire body is completely into shambles. None of the part of your body is active. That is the time you should go to God. Nowadays people think like that. And young age, you should be simply busy in enjoying your life, making money, having enjoyment through various ways. People think it is waste of time. Anybody starts becoming serious in spiritual life, their family members say, "Arey, abhi to tu jawan hai." अभी से कैसे? हाउ आर यू? नाउ ओनली यू के? अरे ये तो सब बुढ़ापे की चीज है? या फिर somebody thinks that भक्ति ज्यादा कर रहा है, कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम होगा, बीवी घर पे प्रॉब्लम कर रही है। अच्छा जॉब नहीं मिला तेरे को, शादी नहीं हो रही है खुराना जी की, इसीलिए तो ज्यादा somebody is doing more devotion, people consider you are Abnormal. Abnormal. That's what you will consider. This is Kali Yuga. That is what, it says there. Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is a place like that. People are misguided. People are misguided. The right thing will be declared as wrong, and the wrong thing will be considered as right. That's what it is. Kali Yuga is like that. So, therefore, our faith is tested. It will be tested in various ways. For Sugriva, the test was a threat. For us, it could be something else. But nevertheless, we have to make our faith strong. But how do we make our faith strong? What should we do to make our faith very strong so that no obstacle in this world should disturb us from the devotion to God? What should we do? I'll give you some 3, 4 steps today. Should I give? Should I discuss on this? Before I move ahead, should I discuss on this? A very important thing. Should I tell you my experience first? When I started becoming I was, how I became interested in spirituality was when I was in ninth or 10th. Suddenly, I don't know from where, I started getting some curiosity about what is after death. Suddenly, I started thinking about, okay, seems like life is more than just this one life. I got that curiosity, and somehow I was talking to some of my friends that directed me towards one person. I went to that person, he was a shopkeeper, and he had kept some spiritual books with him. And so therefore I went, and he said, okay, you can read it for free, take it. So I took one book and I started reading a little. I could not understand much. I was only in ninth and 10th, too small. I could not understand the big things, big things of life, what is being talked about. I just left it, car parked it. And then in 11th standard, I became obsessed with, oh, I must become an IITian. I should have a career, all that. But amazingly, when I was in 11th, one of my uncles, he came to me and said, Beta, you are very ambitious. Take this book. And what was that book? Srimad Bhagavad Gita. He said, this book will show you the path. I said, what? I am preparing for JEE. IIT JEE, what this will But uncle was uncle, and I was also a bit spiritually inclined. So he just gave me, I said, okay, I'll read it. I started reading it daily. Every single day, 15 minutes. I had that kind of feeling that maybe God will help me. If I spend time with him, he will help me also. Huh? Like I'm doing something for him in return. He will do something for me. I had that, some 10, 15 minutes I would read every day. 2 times, 3 times I read. I could not understand much, but little something hit me over there because Krishna speaks that you are not the body, you are soul. And this was something running in my mind that, yeah, it seems like there is something more than this, just this body. What is it? I came to know over there, you are Atma. And there were many more things. I could not understand anything much. And Krishna is speaking big things, and Arjuna is asking, and Krishna is answering. I could not, like, what is the head and tail of it? 3 times. I was studying the JEE, maths, physics, chemistry, everything I understood. That is, this Bhagavad Gita was deep philosophy. पल्ले नहीं पड़ा भाई. समझ नहीं आया क्या क्या लिखा हुआ है भाई इतना. Then I realized in that book only it was told, if you want to understand truth, you should go and accept a guru. That was given in the book. And I was thinking I have to learn it from somebody. समझ नहीं आ रहा खुद. I have to go and find somebody. But I was obsessed of becoming an IITian. So time went away. 12th passed. I went to IIT Kharagpur. When I went to IIT Kharagpur, there was a session. There was a session being held in one of the seminar halls. I still remember. And the title of the session was, Can a Scientist Believe in God? I said, ये तो बढ़िया है. कुछ तो है इसके अंदर. I went and attended it, because a little spiritual interest was there. Can a scientist believe in God? Yes, let's go. And there was like some IIT, person, some IITian was giving, this seminar. I said, okay, let's go and attend it. And then on, I started associating with the devotees, and, they gave me the whole process of bhakti. They introduced me about the deep science of bhakti. I started understanding that. And then they gave me the mala. I started chanting the, holy names of the Lord every day, 1 or 2 rounds. And then came the semester break. I still remember 3 months passed in the IIT Kharagpur. Then we have a mid semester. Two and a half, rather 2 months. 2 months had passed. We had a mid semester. So after the mid semester, we have this Durga Puja vacations in Kharagpur. You don't give that in Telangana, but for Bengal, it's a big thing. So Durga Puja vacation, 5 days holiday is there. So I went home after the I went home. I was living in Lucknow that time. So I went home. And then I was chanting. My mother, these are the ages uh, where you did not have a mobile phone. Okay. These are the ages you didn't have a mobile phone. So, I could not call all the time and tell everything which I am doing to my parents. Like, it's not possible. Once in a week, we would call. And for calling that, you had one phone, which was on the ground floor. My room was on the third floor of the hostel. And so I had to go below and stand in a long queue because so many boys, we had a boys' hostel, right? So many, around 250 students were there in the boys' hostel. So every time you go below and you want to ring a call to your parents, there are 5, 10 other people on the line in the queue. So, sometimes we used to call once in 5 days, once in 10 days, like that. Not like too frequent a call. So I had not informed my parents that I'm already chanting. I went and I showed to my mother. I thought she will be very happy. She was also very spiritual. So therefore I just showed her the mala. Mama, now I am chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. I thought that I'll get a sabash, but very good, very good. And my mother became like, oh, very deeply concerned. And I showed her the book. See, I am reading the big book. My uncle had given me a small book which had no, description. So now I had got a big Bhagavad Gita which had all the descriptions. So I showed my mother, I'm reading this. And she, oh my God, she started crying. I said, Arey, kya ho gaya? I thought I'll get congratulations, very good, you're doing the right thing. She became very concerned. Beta, oh my, you are very young. Right now only you will do so much spirituality. What will happen? You should study only. I said, Mama, you don't know what's going on in the college. You can't tell everything to your mother what happens in the college, especially in boys' hostel. Very difficult. Nobody can tell. I don't think so. Anyway, Satyavadi Harish Chandra, even if he stays in IIT boys' hostel, he can't tell everything to the mother. Not possible. Horrible. Those who have stayed in hostels, they know. I don't have to say. Horrible. Many, many. So I just said to my mother, Mama, you don't know what happens in the hostel. Very horrible things are going on. So I find shelter in spirituality. This is helping me to stay on the right track. So my mother was having faith on me. She knew that I am a wise person. I don't take, very emotional decisions quickly. She just said that I have only heard this people who start practicing spirituality too early, they leave everything. I said, oh, okay. But I was not taught like that. I said to her, nobody taught me like this. Nobody told me that I have to leave everything. People only told me that I have to become a devotee of God. I have to engage everything in the service of God. But see, this is the common fear. Even my mother had that. Today, after many, this is like 23, 24 years down before, which I am talking about. Today, my mother has also accepted this path of bhakti fully. Every single day, she is chanting more than 2 hours the names of the Lord. So I came into the path of devotional service. Later on, all my family members also, my sister, my mother, everybody in my family, many of my relatives, they also came into the path of Krishna consciousness gradually. But in the beginning, I was tested. My own mother started telling me, oh, it's too much, maybe you should not do it. Maybe it's not the right age. Maybe later you do. Maybe first you get a job, then you should do. I said, well, you have to have something to stay on the right track. What is that something? What is it something you can hold on to when everybody around you is going into a bad path? When everybody around you is doing the dirty things, what should you do to take shelter of the right thing? That is the devotional service. It keeps you on the virtuous path. But the faith will be tested. I was tested, not just this incident. There were many other incidents later on also. It took my mother to understand me completely. It took her 5 to 6 years. 5 to 6 years it took her to completely believe that yes, he is wise and he is actually doing the right thing. It took a long time, but once she understood, now she was very happy. Now she is chanting every single day the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, more than 2 hours. She has taken the Harinam initiation in this Krishna conscious movement. My sister also later on followed suit. She has also become initiated disciple in the Hare Krishna movement. Many of my family members also, they became devotees. But it took time for people to understand me. Till then, they were testing me in various ways. So I'm sure that everybody in this world faces a test. And the test is about what is your faith? Is your faith fragile, which can be overpowered by a wrong argument? or by an emotion of a person or by threat of a person? If so, we'll lose faith. So what should we do to become strong in our faith? The first thing is we should associate with the devotees of the Lord. The more you will associate with the devotees who are strong in their faith, the more your faith will become stronger. For Sugriv, it was the association of Hanuman, right? It was the association of the devotees like Hanuman which protected his faith. Hmm? The second thing we have to do is we have to understand the philosophy of bhakti. Just like what you are doing, you are coming here. Each time when you come here, we read so many shlokas together. Can you see, right? Each time when you come here, we are reading the Bhagavad Gita shlokas or we are reading the Ramayana shlokas. We are understanding the science behind this process of bhakti. It is not a sentiment that we are following. Have you tried to realize that? In last many weeks, those who have come here, wouldn't you see that we are not just asking you to have faith, we are explaining to you why to have faith on it. Yes, we can see that. So that is the second thing we should do. We should understand the science behind bhakti, which is very important. If we don't understand the science behind bhakti, what will happen? We may just be sentimentally following it, and then we can be overpowered by another person's bad arguments, right? That's why we should understand the faith. How we can understand? By your study, your study of the scripture. That is why Lokesh Prabhu and many others, they give you a weekly assignment or a weekly worksheet where they ask you that, you can answer certain questions. And if you have certain questions, you can ask them to your mentors, or when you come here, you can ask us. So this has to be done. We should understand the science of bhakti very carefully. Because I had started reading Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures under the guidance of the devotees that time, I was not disturbed when my mother at that time told me that you should not do it more. Maybe you should do it later. I was not disturbed by that. Why? Because I was myself learning the science of the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita, which is an important thing. The more you understand the science of bhakti, the more stronger your faith becomes. So the first thing is associate with devotees. Second is understand the science of bhakti, the philosophy of bhakti properly. By attending these classes, by learning, by asking questions, by solving certain worksheets which are coming to your way. This is the way to solidify our faith. And the third thing we should do is to daily chant the holy names of the Lord. Faith comes by practicing the limbs of bhakti. When you chant the holy name sincerely, actually Krishna in your heart will give you the faith. He produces the faith. A holy name produces faith. So if we chant the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As we chant the holy names of the Lord, Krishna is in our heart. He actually gives us faith from within. He will give you those experiences by which you will be convinced about his existence. You and God, you and Krishna are communicating with each other through the chanting of the holy names. Krishna is hearing you, and Krishna will definitely give you those experiences by which you will get deep convictions that yes, I am doing the right thing by chanting the holy names. But for that, you must chant yourself. You should chant sincerely, at least. So, how many of you have started chanting here daily now? How many of you are chanting daily? Please raise your hand. There are many of you. Okay. Okay, she wants to clap for all those who are chanting. Wonderful. Children are innocent, and that's why we say they're agents of God. As soon as I asked, and as soon as you raised hand, she started clapping there. Interesting. So I would request everybody that from today onwards, everybody here can at least chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. You can take one mala and every day chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I'm sure like here, before we have the class, we are having the one round chanting, right? 2 rounds we are chanting. Oh, wonderful. So that is when you come here, but when you go to your home on the other days, Monday to Saturday, at least one round. If you can chant more, it's even better. At least one you should surely do. This will give you great conviction actually. Yeah. So, but the test of faith is there, and we should therefore make our faith strong. Yes. Okay. So let me further the story now. So the spy went away. And do you remember how Lord Rama reconciled the two opposing opinions of, on one hand, Vibhishan, whom Rama had just accepted as a brother. And on the other hand, Lakshman. So the question was how to cross this ocean and go to Lanka. And Lakshman has said that, we should immediately, what do you call, order me and I will dry up this ocean for you. That's what he said. Oh Rama, you just order me and I will, dry up this entire ocean. And hence you will get an easy pathway toward Lanka over here. And Rama smiled. He was too enthusiastic. As if the entire patience he had already left in Ayodhya and no patience was there now with him. On the other hand, Vibhishan said, my dear Lord Ram, first you should request. You should request to Samudra Devta. I am sure that he will comply with your, request. So please request him that please show us the path. So Rama reconciled both the opposing arguments. He said, my dear Vibhishan, I like what you said. And my dear Lakshman, I completely agree with what you said also. Both of you are like my life. I want to follow both your opinions completely. And therefore, I have devised a plan. For the first 3 days, I will take the suggestion of Vibhishan. I will intensely pray to the Samudra Devata, requesting him to grant me access towards Lanka through his route. Help me make a route towards Lanka. But if after 3 full days of my prayers and request, if it does not comply, then I will accept the path which you are showing to me, my dear Lakshman. I will certainly punish Samudra Devta and make my path towards Lanka. So Acharyas explained that why did Rama do so? So Acharyas explained that Rama does so because he does not want violence as the first solution to the problem. Violence many times is necessary, but it shouldn't be the first solution to a problem in life. The first solution should always be a peaceful solution. But when all the peaceful solutions close, there is nothing which works, then at last you may accept a violent solution. That is why Rama first accepted a peaceful solution given by Vibhishan. He said, yes, I will first request Samudra Devata for 3 full days. There was a second reason which was running in the heart of Rama. Rama considered that Ravan is a neighbor of Samudra. Hence, if I show my good behavior by first requesting Samudra Devta, Varun Devta, this might be a good lesson for Ravana. Because Ravana is as the neighbor of Samudra, right? So therefore, he might see my good behavior and might learn something from there. And that's why I will first follow the virtuous path, the right path. You see, Lord Ram is an amazing person. And he's showing us two things here, two wonderful lessons. The smaller lesson first, and then the bigger lesson. The smaller lesson is when you are in a responsible position, especially like all of you sitting here, most of you have your own kids. By having a kid, you become a very responsible man or a woman. Before having a kid, you may be whatever you are, a little. Sometimes we are not very responsible. But when you have a child of your own, you understand that 2 eyes are watching me 24 hours. Correct? 2 eyes are watching me 24 hours. And the children do not follow what you speak to them. Children follow what you are doing. Correct? They will follow what you are doing, not what you say to them. So the example becomes more important than the teaching, than the lesson, the instruction. Right? So therefore, Rama, being very responsible king, he is showing that he is trying to teach Ravana a virtuous path by himself first going through a peaceful solution towards Samudra Devta. A very amazing thing. If we want our own children to follow virtuous path, as parents, we ourselves have to show our example. I have written a parenting book, and in the parenting book, I said that children will be your mirrors. Children will be acting like your own mirrors. But in the mirror, the reflection comes by a certain rule. You see, when you stand in front of a mirror, you see your own face, right? Reflection. But in the children, if the children are compared to mirror, Then there are certain rules of reflection. What is the first rule? Anything good in you will only come half in the child. Anything which is good in you will only come half in the child, and anything bad in you will come double in the child. That is a rule of reflection. Anything good will come half, but anything bad will come double. This is what you will find. This is what you will find actually. When you raise your kids, this is what happens. This is the mirroring principle. Hence, if the parents want their children to be very virtuous, now you can understand how much more virtuous you have to be. There was a boy who came, so I counsel many people. So there was a boy who came to me and he said that he was talking to me. And I mean, when you grow up, you require more relationships just than the parents. Anybody knows here, everybody of you, you know that when you grow up beyond 15 or 16, you need more people than just your parents to talk to. That's just a normal thing. It's not abnormal. It's just a normal thing. We need friends. We need other elders. Sometimes we have a conflict with our own parents. It happens in every home. It's not unnatural. It just happens with every boy, every girl. As they grow up, after a certain age, they can't agree to 100% things which their parents are doing or saying. It's just a normal thing. We should not consider it to be like, why are they rebelling or something? No, it's a normal thing. Nobody is perfect. Is there anybody who is 100% perfect? No. So therefore, our children will be the first people who will see the defects in us. Actually, so this boy came to me and he was very upset. And I said, "What happened? Why are you upset?" He said, "Prabhuji, I am not very happy with my father. He is, I'm feeling very difficulty." I said, "What happened? Tell me. Why are you so upset today?" So he said, "My father is behaving very selfishly." So really, what happened? He ill treats my, uncle, chacha, and there is a property issue, and I'm clearly seeing he's cheating him. I said, "Oh, really? Okay, why don't you talk to your father and just say, Daddy, you don't do this." And he's saying, "No, no, you are a small kid. What do you know of life? You will come to know later." You see, children are observing every single thing and they are taking it deep within inside. And they are developing a perception towards you how to treat you by your actions which you are doing in this world. You see, several times even the parents come to me. There was an elder gentleman who came to me. He said, "Prabhu, you instruct my son that he should take care of me." So I smiled broadly. I said, "Well, this has to be instructed, huh?" I just smiled. I said, "Yes, yes, Prabhu, I pray that he serves you." Or in my heart of the hearts, I really want that he should serve you. But how can I instruct him? His feelings have come towards you by your actions which you did. Now, with one instruction of mine, how will his entire heart change towards you? Well, we have to earn certain things in this world. Respect is not something which you can demand from people. Respect is something which you command from people by your own actions. And if you want your children to respect you, care for you in your old age, well, your actions have to be of a certain type. If they see in you a person who is virtuous, they will be loving to be with you. They would be loving to serve you. But if they find something else, then in their hearts they have kept certain things, and we know why they have come. This boy was telling me, "I don't like why my father is doing like this. I don't care for this money. Why is he treating in such an ugly way towards my own uncle? That uncle has done so much for me. I love both. I love my father also. I love my uncle also. How can I choose one of them?" He was very unhappy about it. And in the later age, when his father will be becoming older, 60, 70, what will be the feelings of this son? Think about it. Think about it. Well, if we want our children to care for us, this is not wrong. It's absolutely not wrong. Any young person I meet, I definitely will tell them that definitely they should serve their parents. But one more principle has to be understood. You cannot force anybody to care for you. Can you force? You can't force. Love cannot be forced, right? You take a gun point and say, "Hey, love me." Hey, chal. That is not love. How can you take a gun and say, "Chal, love"? Love comes from the heart, right? It comes from the heart. It has to be earned. It has to be earned actually. How it is earned? By simple things. You behave in a virtuous way as you are doing by coming here. You are learning the science of the Bhagavad Gita. You are generating the positive energy within you. By this, your children will love you for what you are, right? That's what they will actually. That's why they will serve you in your old age, not because somebody will tell them, or you can put a rule. See, I gave you money, now you serve. Well, doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. So, what's the lesson? Lesson of parenting. Lesson of parenting is here, which Lord Rama is showing to us. He wants to teach Ravana, not by his words. He wants to teach by his actions. And that is why the way he is dealing with Samudra Devata, that is the way he is teaching Ravana. This is the way to behave with others. Even when you have conflict, you should first try to have a peaceful solution. There was a conflict. What was the conflict? Samudra Devata was not empathizing with Rama and he was not giving him an easy passage. Hence, there was either a violent solution or a peaceful solution. Rama chose a peaceful solution. 3 days at a stretch, Rama laid a kusha grass on the seashore and very intensely from morning to evening without eating anything, he was intensely praying to Samudra Devata, please kindly give me your darshan. I want to request you to give me a path towards Lanka. Very sincerely he was requesting. Entire day, morning to evening. Night he would sleep on the same spot, on the same kusha grass, with his own two hands as his pillow, facing the wind which is coming over there, right at that spot, no protection. And then early in the morning, he would again wake up, again from morning to evening, he would just simply, without eating anything, simply request, please, Varun Devta, please come. I want to request you. 3 days and 3 nights passed, and Samudra Devta did not budge an inch. Nothing. There was silence. It was too much. As Rama had promised Lakshman, 3 days he will wait. After 3 days, if necessary, there will be a punishment. So Rama woke up the fourth morning and his eyes were red shot with anger. Right? And he commanded Lakshman, Lakshman, bring my bow. Bring my bow. And Lakshman brought the bow and the quiver. And then Rama said, I think there are some people who consider kindness, virtue, compassion to be a weakness. It seems that Varuna considers me to be a weak person that I am requesting him. So therefore, let me teach him, let me speak to him in the language which he hears. He took out a bow and he took one arrow and charged it with full power. It goes inside the samudra, and enters deep inside. For a few seconds, nothing happened. And after a few seconds, there was a high tide wave. All the whales, all the fishes, all of them were like, like coming out on the shore. The water of the samudra started boiling. It started boiling. Rama had shot one arrow and the entire samudra is very big. It's not small. It's not a pond. It's so huge. The entire samudra started boiling. It started boiling, fuming. All these, fishes, etc., they all came out. They felt like, my God, what is this? It's so hot. It was a boiling water. And still Samudra Devata did not come out. And Rama was like even more furious. The sages who were living nearby, they came running and they caught hold of the feet of Lord Ram. Oh, my dear Lord Ram, please, please, please become calm again. Please become calm again. The world cannot face your anger. It's too much, please become calm again. But Samudra Devata was not coming out. And then finally Rama thought, oh, I think Varun wants, to be taught a lesson. He took the Brahmastra and he started chanting the mantra of the Brahmastra. And taking slowly while chanting the Brahmastra mantra, he was pulling the arrow, behind. And suddenly, Samudra Devata, Varuna Devata came out, and he was with folded palms. A very handsome looking person with many servants around him. The cool breezes were always blowing towards his face. And his, you have seen like sometimes in movie they introduce the hero and the heroine like that. Their hairs are going, you feel like "Arey, the effect. And these effects are there in the real time for these devatas. They always have servants around them. And somebody was fanning him and his cool looking calm, curly hairs were blowing behind. And he was very charming looking figure, a very handsome, personality. He came out with his folded palms. But before I go ahead, I want to teach one important point. Because what interaction between them will be something, but I want to teach you one important point. See, Rama had to finally take the recourse of violence. Many times people say that Prabhuji, coming to bhakti means becoming totally non-violent. Then people will exploit you. Sometimes people ask me this question. Prabhu, if you become too good, na, Kali Yuga means people will exploit you. Well, becoming too good does not mean allowing anybody to cross their boundary. So therefore, I want to show you the shloka. Krishna himself says this. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter. It's 4:11 or something like that. Please see. Around that. 4:8. Okay, 4.8. Please kindly recite this after me. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma संस्थापनार्थाय Sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver this. So Krishna says, why do I come? What is the purpose of my descent in this world? Bhagwan is sansar mein kyun aate hain? He says two purposes. He says, Paritranaya sadhunam, protecting the virtuous. But the second part is also there. This is not my teaching. This is Bhagavad Gita teaching it. Krishna is saying this. I am not saying this. What he's saying is to deliver the pious. But the second, to annihilate the miscreants. You see, when Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he goes to Duryodhan and he says to Duryodhan, Pandavas don't want to fight the war. Yudhishthir is saying, just give him 5 villages to rule and the entire land, other than those 5 villages, can belong to you. He has no concerns. Just give him 5 villages to rule. That's all he needs. And we don't want to have a war. And what does Duryodhan reply? Duryodhan replies, Oh Krishna, oh Vasudev, you want me to give land to Yudhishthir? I won't even give the land which comes on the tip of the needle. Even that much land I won't give. Do what you like to do. Go away. Then Krishna becomes angry there. You know this? Just like Rama becomes angry here, Krishna becomes angry in the courtroom of Duryodhan. And he shows the Vishwarupa. He shows his Vishwarupa right there in the courtroom of Duryodhan. Why? Because Duryodhan said, I will not just, destroy the Pandavas. I will even, put you inside the jail. He tried to kidnap Lord Krishna right there itself, He tried to bind him and tried to keep him inside the jail. Then Krishna showed him the Virat Rupa, and then Dhritarashtra came asking forgiveness. Oh Vasudev, please forgive. He does not know who you are. He just tried to attempt like a fool. Please forgive him this time. Then Krishna again comes back in his normal form. Saumya Rupam. Right? So yeah, there are people in this world. Okay, I think today kids are very energetic. Do we have prasadam for them? Huh? If the kids can be given some nice prasadam, they become happy. Please see, Prabhu, Shiv Sagar Prabhu. Yeah. If they can be given some prasadam, they become happy. Yes. Okay. What I was saying? Yeah. So there are people like Duryodhan who do not hear any other way. What will you do with them? This is how especially Kali Yuga is. And in fact, in other ages also, because Duryodhana was existing in Dwapar Yuga. Before that, you had Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, all these people are there. So violence has its right use also. But violence should not be the first thing to be done. It's not the first thing to be done. It's the last thing to be done if nothing else is working. Sri Krishna himself tried, right? He tried a peaceful solution. Lord Rama himself tried, right? He tried a peaceful solution, right? He tried a peaceful solution. If when it's not working, that is when he recourse to the punishment. Similarly, in our life also, when you become a devotee, this does not mean that people can exploit you and you can just not do anything. No, we don't want to be exploited, but we also don't want to exploit anybody. That is a very important thing. We don't want to exploit anybody, but if somebody wants to exploit, we have a right course of action which has to be done. Now, of course, none of you sitting here is a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means he can go and fight. So we have to take the right course. Maybe we have to go to police or we have to go to whatever. The right channels who can protect us. Not the not that you take the law in your hand. Prabhuji ne kaha tha na. No, Rama is a Kshatriya, Krishna is a Kshatriya, so therefore they can take, I mean, they are the lawmaker in that sense. Kshatriya is a lawmaker. So they can protect the law. But we have to follow the law. So you can take course of the right channel, you can have certain, whatever. We don't take the law in hand, surely. But we just do some action by which we are not exploited. Okay, so that is very important to understand. Okay, let me now talk about what happened between Samudra Devata, Varun Devata, and Lord Ram. So Varun Devata came out. But by that time, Rama had already taken the Brahmastra, chanted the full mantra, and it was the arrow was inside his hand, on his hand. He has to release it. Because once Brahmastra has been invoked, it has to be released. Right? So Varun Devata came quite late. So he was already there. And then Varuna, started seeking forgiveness. Oh, my dear Lord Ram, it's not that I didn't want to help you, but it's impossible to change the nature of the elements. I am water, and water needs a space. You cannot dry up the water because you want it. No. So therefore, by your own arrangement, my dear Lord, I am given this space over here. I have to live here. I have to be here. Nobody can just, take a way across the ocean. I cannot give you the passage that way. That is not possible for me because I am your own servant and I have to follow the rules which you only have given. So therefore, I was not coming up because you were requesting me to give the path from between. That is not possible for me. I don't have that powers. I can only expand. Water cannot give you path in between. No water. That's not the power of the water. So he said that I can't do that. So therefore, I have come here now. Although I cannot give you the path from the middle, but I can support you in other ways. And I am here to now tell you what I can do for you. So he said, you can I will allot you a certain area over which you can build a bridge. And I will support you that although the water will keep moving from below, but the bridge which you will build will not be disturbed, will not at all be disturbed. This is my promise which I can give to you. This is how I can support you. So please proceed to build a bridge on this, on the river, and I will be completely supporting you. I give you a second promise that all the fears, the creatures staying inside the ocean, they will not disturb the Vanar Sena when the Vanar Sena will try to make the bridge. This is my second promise. One, that when the bridge you will build, I'll support that bridge, although the water from below will pass. Second, the fierce creatures inside the ocean will not disturb the Vanaras when they will be building this bridge. So this is how I can serve you, my dear Lord. So Rama was very happy. He smiled and he said, thanks for the cooperation which you're offering me, but now I have a problem. And what is the problem? The Brahmastra is in my hand. It has to be released. So where should I release it? He asked Varuna. And then Varun Devta came up with a plan. And he said, my dear Lord, a little far from here in the northern side, there is an area which is where many, many dacoits are living. And these are so sinful, wretched people that when they come and take bath in my rivers, in my waters, I feel very uncomfortable by their touch. They're so sinful. There is no sin in the world which they have not done. And the leader of all these, these sinful people, his name is Abhira. So I request you to release your Brahmastra in the northern side towards this area so that all these dacoits which are there, these robbers, they will be finished and vanquished. And Lord Rama said, so be it. So it was like a lightning. It went, and nobody knew what happened. Now we humans, we are very proud right now with our nuclear power energy, nuclear energy. Nuclear energy can go and destroy, so much. But nuclear energy is not a precise weapon. If you have to kill one man, you have to kill the entire city. Because the nuclear power, nuclear bomb, if it explodes, it actually kills a large number of people in the area, not one single person. But those days, these Brahmastras were not less than these nuclear weapons, but they had very powerful precision to whomever, towards whomever. Remembering whomever you are actually shooting the arrow, only that person will be killed. Nobody else in the vicinity will be killed. Right? So therefore, Lord Rama remembered these dacoits, and the weapon went in that direction, and only those dacoits were completely destroyed. The whole, they were staying in a particular area. Only that area was destroyed, and nobody else was harmed by that. That was a precision of these missiles which were being, invocated not by the nuclear energy but by the mantra energy. The mantra energy. You see, there are subtle powers in this world. What I'm talking about is not spiritual power, it's actually material power, but at a subtle level. Just like there are siddhis also, Anima, Laghima, Prapti, Ishita, Vashita, etc. When you do the Ashtang yoga, you can get those powers. So there are yogis in the Himalayas. If you go today also, you will find some of them. If you go towards the deep up, Himalayas, you will find certain yogis. My spiritual master, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he has written an autobiography and he describes of meeting those yogis actually. Right? There are yogis in the, up in the Himalayas who can walk on the water. And there are some people, who are interviewed and that's there in the YouTube channels also. That somebody who is not eating from last 150 days and still they are hale and healthy. Somebody who is not drunk a drop of water for long, long, long time. And yes, they are still healthy completely. Why? Because they have certain powers, subtle powers. It's not spiritual power. These are subtle powers in this world. Just like nuclear energy is one type of power which is released in a certain way. Similarly, these subtle powers are also there. They are not spiritual in nature. Sometimes people get confused between subtle material energy and spiritual power. It's very different. Spirituality is not about gaining more powers in this world. Ravana also had more powers. Spirituality is not about that. Spirituality is about developing our love for God. Spirituality is about ending the cycle of birth and death. Spirituality is about generating that spiritual compassion within your heart so that you can love everyone. Spirituality is about generating that spiritual qualities by which we can attract the attention of the Lord. Would you like to show this shloka? This is 15.6. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivratta kamaha. That he says. Spirituality is about controlling your lower nature. It's not about gaining some subtle powers in this world. Yes, please. 15.6. 15.6. 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 6th shloka. Krishna says there. Yeah. Please recite. This is a very, I think previously we recited. I'm not, sometime we must recite it, but we can do today also. Please recite after me. Beautiful shloka. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha आध्यात्म नेत्या विनिवृत्त काम द्वंद्वैर्विमुक्ता सुख दुख समज्ञैर् गच्छन्ति अमूढ पदमव्ययम् तम्. Krishna is saying, what is spiritual? Please see. He says, those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distresses, and who unbewildered know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person attain to that eternal kingdom. Who goes back to the spiritual world? These are the qualities. So developing these spiritual qualities is called as spirituality. So many times we feel confused, right? Ravana had also got many subtle powers. So what is exactly spirituality? He was not a spiritual person at all. He was, you can't call him as a devotee of God, can you? No. Rakshasa, he's a Rakshasa. He's doing so many cruel and materialistic activities, as we described in the when we were describing the Sundarkand. When Hanumanji goes there, we were describing about Ravan. What is he doing there in the Lanka? So spirituality is not about gaining material powers like walking on water or controlling somebody's mind. These are all there. These are all subtle powers. They can be generated through Ashtanga Yoga. But that is not spiritual. What is spiritual? Ending the cycle of birth and death. Moksha, that is spiritual. Developing the spiritual qualities mentioned here. Being able to control your lower nature. This is spirituality. Developing love for God. This is spirituality. Developing compassion in your heart. That is spirituality. So this is what we are aiming at actually. Not those powers, because they are temporary again. They are not permanent. They are not permanent. So this Brahmastra is a subtle material power. It's not spiritual power. Even the Rakshasas can have it. Even on the Duryodhana side, many soldiers, many Maharathis were there who knew how to, invoke such missiles. Doesn't mean that all of them were very spiritual or something. No, it is a merit. Just like anybody can enter into IITs or AIMS. You don't have to be very pious person who is very spiritual minded, then only you will be able to enter. No. Even those who are very cruel hearted or having very dirty qualities, even they also enter into that. It's a merit, right? It's merit which one can get. So that is not to be confused with spirituality. Spirituality is very different. What does it give you? We should know. What's the end result of spirituality? Love for God. Ending the cycle of birth and death. Cessation of all miseries. Burning up of all our kama, krodha, moha, lobha, maya, matsarya. All these things. That is called as spirituality. That is the power of spirituality. So Lord Rama released, and all those, robbers, they were finished. And so therefore Varun Devta becomes even more happy. Okay, so I'll end just with this. So Varun Devta becomes very happy, and he further proposes to Lord Rama, well, I will tell you even more. Since you have helped me by killing those robbers, I want to tell you, my dear Lord, in your own Vanar Sena, there are two Vanaras, Nal and Neel. And they have got a curse from the Brahmanas that whatever they will put into the water, it will float. So this curse is explained. When Nal and Neel were very small children, they were Vanaras. So they were very naughty. And they used to go and disturb the sages, the rishis who were staying besides, in the forest. And they would play with them. They would take some belongings which they are having, some lungi, some vastra, something like that, some puja samagri, and they would put it into the water, rivers. And then these rishis would keep searching, and then they found, Array, my belongings have been drowning inside the river. So therefore, but they were small children, Vanar children, so they didn't want to curse them very harshly that you become like this, you become like that. But then, since it went on for long, they all came together and decided, well, we have to do something. So they cursed them that whatever you will throw inside the river, it will never drown. By that, if there are any belonging they would try to throw in the river, what will happen? It will float on the top and they will just take it, take it back. So this curse was there. You see, this curse was there on them. Whatever they will throw in the river or in the water will only float. It will not go down. And so Nala and Neel informed Lord Ram that you should engage them because they have the qualification that they got the curse. Quite interesting. They have a qualification. What is the qualification? They had got the curse long ago. They might have forgotten, but I remember. So he says to Lord Ram. And then Lord Ram appointed Nal and Neel to be the chief engineers. And of course, they are also sons of Vishwakarma. So they also have the very great kala of designing and architecture. So use their capabilities and, ask them to draw this difficult bridge over the ocean. Nobody makes a bridge on the ocean. You can at the max make bridge on the river. right? But on the ocean, it's very fierce. The high tide, low tide, all that very difficult. Winds are very fierce, right? So they were, and how long? This is 100 yojanas, 100 yojana long, very, very long. So therefore, Lord Rama, once he came to know, he calls Nal and Neel and asks them, please kindly start the construction work of the bridge. Nal and Neel take the meeting with the Vanaras, and they tell them, bring so many rocks, bring so many, trees, etc. We'll bind the rocks and we'll put them into the ocean, and that's how they will, something bridge can be built. All the Vanaras became very busy for entire one single day. See, days have to be remembered because each day counts. Mother Sita had given them 30 days warning that if Rama doesn't come and kill Ravan within this 30 days, she will, what do you call, destroy herself. So the days are passing by. A lot of time has already gone, and one more day, 3 days have gone in trying to meet Varuna. One more day has gone in collecting all the materials. But within this one day, something more has happened. Very interesting. Vibhishan was missing from the entire scene. The third day, when he saw Rama meeting Samudra Devta, after the conversation with the Varun Devta, Vibhishan was missing from the scene. And what happened? Vibhishan had taken the form of a pigeon, and he was worried about something in his mind. He knew the tricks of Ravan. And he knew that all this what is happening on this shore must already would have been informed to Ravan. And Ravan will be now plotting something against Ram. That now Rama has got the method to come to Lanka because he knows now that Nal and Neel should make the bridge. So now Ravan will certainly do something. He was having that fear in his heart. He took the form of a pigeon. So these demons can change their form. So he had this power. Now this is not spiritual. That is material only. These powers are not called as spiritual powers. These are material powers. Rakshasas have it. how can we call it as spiritual then? Right. So he took the form of a pigeon and he flew inside the Lanka. And especially he was wanting to go inside the chambers of Ravana, where Ravana was staying, and he managed to slip across and went inside the chamber of Ravana, and where he saw a scene. He was horrified with what he saw. And he flew running back, 100 yojanas, flying, dashed on the lotus feet of Lord Ram. And Lord Ram picked him up, and suddenly he was totally exhausted. Suddenly he became the huge Vibhishan. And then Vibhishan said, my dear Lord Ram, there is an emergency. I was worrying about one thing, that same thing is happening. We have to protect you. This is going to be very difficult. And Raman was like hearing him nonchalantly. Okay, theek hai, kya problem hai? I will cooperate with you. You want to do some seva to me? I'll cooperate with you. He was like not worried about what is going to happen. But there was a great danger on his way. On his towards him. Great danger. Lord Ram and Lakshman will be kidnapped. Next week when you come, you will hear the whole story of this kidnapping. How can Lord Ram be kidnapped? How can Lord Lakshman be kidnapped? Right amidst the Vanar Sena. They have not yet gone to Lanka. They are on this shore. Oh, Hanuman is there. Even Hanuman could not protect him? Yes. Even Lakshman could not protect Lord Ram? Yes. Even Vibhishan could not protect? Yes. Even Jamban could not protect? Yes. Even Angad could not protect? Yes. Even Sugriva could not protect? Yes. How did it happen? Let's hear it next week. Next week we are going to hear how Ram and Lakshman are going to be kidnapped. And Hanuman is going to go on a tour. And very adventurously something is going to happen. Quite an adventure is going to happen as Rama has been kidnapped. And how he comes back on the scene back. It's going to be a long story. The whole discussion of on the next week. I hope that you will surely come. And also bring your relatives, your friends, your acquaintances to hear this beautiful Ramayana as it is unfolding here in this place. I'm very grateful for your presence today. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let us thank wonderful class on Ramayana by 3 times loudly chanting Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. So we have regular submissions from the participants for the assignments. So like
worksheets, right? Worksheets.
At the worksheets which we are giving every week. So Santosh Prabhu has, you can please stand up on your place. Santosh Prabhu has submitted all 4 out of 4 assignments. Then Balakrishna Prabhu and
Worksheets they are, right?
worksheets. Balakrishna Prabhu and Deepika Mataji, they submitted 3 out of 4 worksheets.
Where, if they are here, you can ask them, where are they?
Balakrishna Prabhu is not. Deepika Mataji.
Yes. He's
And
not
then
okay, that student. Okay. Yeah.
and Suresh Prabhu.
Let's thank them nevertheless. These two devotees, I think they must be attending. I'm sure, like they must be attending the online session, right? Online, Deepika is attending and Prabhu is
Balakrishna.
attending. So let's thank them. They are attending online. Let's thank them by loudly, clapping for them.
Then next, Suresh Prabhu, Jivita Mataji, and Pritika Mataji. They have submitted 2 out of 4 worksheets.
Rivo! Very good. Let's.
We would also like to welcome a few of the participants who came for the first time. I will read out your names. You can all stand up in your place. So we have here Hardik, Ishan, Neeraj, Hanmant Garu and family, Chandradeep, Naresh Garu and his wife, Anirudh, Umakant Garu and his wife, Shanvi and Arohi, Satya Garu and his wife and son, Trudeep. Trideep, yeah. If I have missed anybody, you can also please stand up. If I have missed anybody who has come for the first time.
Thank you so much for coming today. I hope you had a good experience. And you can please come next week. We will be continuing this Ramayana also. Yes, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Let's welcome them by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you. Thank you for coming today.
Hare Krishna. So now devotees can proceed for prasadam.
Yes. Thank you so much. Also, one small announcement. So we are going to relocate from this place after 3 weeks. We have our own building coming up very nearby, just 200 meters from here, not too far. Just from here, it will be just 200 meters. To So next week we'll give you more here, telling you to get to the scan of the place on this nearby. From here, it's just 150 to 100 meters, just not 200, maybe less than that. From here, if you walk, it will take you 3 minutes to reach them. Just so if you're coming by tonight, just half a minute more maybe max. Okay, so we can keep a poster or something by which they can scan and know the location. Because 15th February we'll have the weekly program there. Next 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, we'll be relocating ourselves. Thank you so much. Thank you.